What's going on, y'all, and welcome into Forte Catholic. I'm so glad that you found the show today. We have a good one for you. Allison Sullivan came over to the studio, and we had a grand old time. We didn't stop laughing during recording, between recordings, after the recordings. We had just a great day. So much fun today. Brand new game that I think you're really going to enjoy or hate, one of the two. And either way, it's going to be a fun listen. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. If you do, subscribe wherever you are listening, whether on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you enjoy it, share it with a friend. You know, it can't hurt. One simple little tweet or Instagram story means the world to us here at Forte Catholic. Today's show is brought to you by Catholic Match. Enjoy. What's up? And welcome to Forte Catholic. I am Taylor Schroll. That is the physically ambiguous Allison Sullivan. Allison, how are you today?
Hi, Taylor. What does that mean?
I don't know. I think it means we're not sure if you're a man or a woman.
That's what I heard.
But we've been talking about how shiny you are today. Your shirt is shiny. Your lips are shiny. Your eyes are shiny.
I know. It's distracting. I'm like blinding you.
So
I confused you with my outfit when I came in. There's just all sorts of things going on.
It's overwhelming. You're not a person that wears green. Would you talk into your microphone, please?
No.
Okay. So I've never seen you wear green before. That is 100% how we are starting today's show.
I'm just really impressed that you would notice, to be honest.
Well, you wear...
No, I have curly hair, and if I straighten my hair, my husband just kind of tilts his head at me. Like, what's different? I can't know. You notice if I wear green?
We would think that the good-looking former military doctor would be the best husband, but it's me! I'm the best!
You should have been a detective.
What does that have to do with anything?
Attention to detail!
Oh, I was like, is that equal to doctor?
You would make a great witness. Maybe I've been watching too much true crime. I don't know.
This is a very strange way to start today's show.
Hi, Taylor.
But hey, what's
Good
up?
morning.
But we have had I think we're in a weird mood because we had a very weird day in our hometown of Bryan yesterday. So
it was.
Many of you probably saw us in the news. I know that because one, it was national news.
Yeah.
And two, I got a bunch of strange text messages. But before we get to the text messages, we have to talk about where we both were.
Yeah.
Our lives are about to collide in another way.
Right.
And I don't think you're ready for it.
Right.
You're like, Taylor once a month is fine enough. Maybe I'll see him at an event here in town, another one time a month.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of your quota.
Mm-hmm.
Is just what I pick up from, like, if we have a great time when we're together for like an hour or two, if it gets to 3.
And then what?
You're like, you start looking at your phone a lot. And then, like, at 4, it's
true.
You're too nice to, like, say, Taylor, it's time to leave my house, but not nice enough to just start ignoring me for the 4th hour until I finally pick it up. I might be a good detective, but it took me an hour to realize that you were done with me.
Well, I just don't think you mind annoying me. You're like, this is what I'm here for, actually. I'm glad that it's finally started to work.
I was waiting for hour 4. You enjoyed hour 1 and 2.
As long as it takes. No, yeah. So I had actually a really busy day yesterday. I was at this celebratory...
Last week. It was last week.
Last week, like I said. And so I was at a celebratory lunch, and
What were you celebrating?
Well, actually, a friend who we thought might be sick and was not. And she just got great news at the doctor, and we were like, we are kidnapping you and having a glass of wine in the middle of the day.
Just so I'm clear.
Yeah.
This person, it wasn't that they were sick and then were healed.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Okay.
But
because that's very different than, hey, Allison, are you sick? No. Yay, let's go have wine today. That's what I thought you were doing.
No, it was, it was kind of a scary thing. And then it ended up being really great news.
Like when my doctor told me, hey, Taylor, you probably have cancer. We'll get the results in 4 months. And then I had to sit with that for 4 months. And he was
little bit.
I was like, so I just waited. I couldn't call him. Do I have cancer? He's like, no. Why do you think that?
Oh,
you
gosh.
told me right after surgery. You dummy.
No, it was a really scary 7 days for my friend. And then, so we go to lunch, and I get back in my car, and I'm hustling to be where you are. I like
that. You might want to clarify that a bit.
Oh, Track meet.
Yeah, we were at a track meet together.
But I pull up to a junior high in our town, and like I hear you before I see you, which
as most do
is appropriate. And you're not even like, I don't know, yelling. You were just being Taylor, but I'm like,
having a
Taylor.
private conversation.
Yes, right.
30 meters from you.
Trying to be discreet. So, anyways, and I look at my phone, and it had blown up with people not even in our state asking if I was okay. And I'm like, yes, why?
Yeah. And like when you were like a parent, you were there because your sixth grader was at the track meet.
Correct.
And I'm the high school coach. So like I don't care about them at all.
Right.
Until like the end of their 8th grade year when I'm like, okay, who am I getting next year?
Right. Yeah, what do we got?
So like your kid's in 6th grade, I won't care about him for another 2-ish years.
Yes, unless I make you and like you're gonna watch this video and watch my kid's wheels.
Maybe that happened 5 minutes before we started recording. Which is funny because you showed me the rest of the clip. I saw him at the beginning and I'm like, he's really slow. And I
Not
guess
an
he just
impressive
jogged
start.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then apparently what I missed was him catching the dude by 40 meters. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for 3 years from now when I'm
Perfect.
his coach.
Perfect.
But you were there as a parent and watching, and how track meets work. They're fun for the kids. They're terrible for parents. Like it's the worst sport to watch because it's like my kid runs for 30 seconds every 7 hours.
Right. And I did not know this. I'm new to all of this because even as like a student, even if you didn't play basketball yourself, you went to basketball games.
Right. And
you
it's
know,
an hour.
well, we didn't necessarily go to spectate track meets. And so I'm learning. I'm like videoing him. It's super intense. And he's like, Mom, it was a warm up. So then I'm like videoing him, super intense. Mom, it's still a warm up. And then I missed the real thing. He's like, you don't have that on video? I'm like, no. Anyways, yeah. So
I'll train you how to be a good parent.
Thank you.
I'm doing a lot of help to the Sullivans today. Teaching
lots
Seth how
of
to be a good
instructions.
husband, you how to be a good mom. By the end of the day, I'll have something for all of the Sullivan family.
Sometimes she straightens her hair. They warm up 3 times. Yes, all good.
Silas doesn't straighten his hair.
He could. That kid has got a great head of hair.
We're barely into today's show, and you've said multiple things where I'm just like, what?
What?
And then you say it, and there's a clear connection, but I'm just not connecting.
I appreciate that caveat that you just. Okay. Anyways, so yes, track meet in the same place.
You're there.
Worlds colliding.
As a parent, where you have to pay attention for 30 seconds every 7 hours.
Yeah.
I'm a coach, and I run around with like a chicken with my head cut off because I have people doing events at all times, all across the track and field. So I have no idea what's going on. My phone starts blowing up, but I don't check my phone. Like in normal life, I check my phone every 3 minutes. At track meets, it's like every 3 hours.
Sure.
Right. And like all my friends from like out of state are texting me
across the nation.
Are you okay? I think so.
Yeah.
Like, do I need to go to the doctor? Do I need to have a wine lunch? Like, what is happening for me?
Yeah.
And
is this a prophetic word on my life?
Yeah. Why is everyone worried for me? What has happened? But apparently there was a mass shooting yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't know this for hours into the meet.
Yeah.
But like we're there and we're all just like people like I have 4 kids long jumping and I'm trying to coach them. And then we all kind of stop because there's like 19 cop cars just flying right by the school that we were at.
Yeah.
And we're just like, okay, it's probably just some drug bust or whatever out in the country. Like, which is usually what it is around here because there's not much crime around here.
Yeah.
Right?
We're a peaceful little town.
Yeah. And apparently there was a mass shooting. Guy that worked at this place and he shot a bunch of people at the place. One person has, at least as of recording this, one person has died, and there were like 4 or 5 more in critical condition. So it's like this serious thing, and but it was this weird kind of out of body thing where everybody was worried for us, and we weren't worried at all because we were oblivious to what was happening, like literally right around us.
Yeah.
So obviously, like our thoughts and our prayers are with those who have died and those who have been injured as well, but like it was this weird thing. It was the beginning of a very weird day because like you would think like in our little town where there's usually nothing like this, like that would be the thing for the day,
of course,
right? And then like later on in the evening, everybody's like everybody at the meet doesn't really know what's going on. People, other people are watching the news, they know what's going on. They're telling me what's going on right next to me, but. We get to the meet, and I don't even know if you were there for, like, were you there when the meet got canceled?
No.
Okay, so.
Because I was at a banquet. Like, I was hustling from lunch to meet to banquet. And, of course, my husband's out of town. My husband goes out of town things wait to happen until my husband is out of town. Even just something as simple as a bird flying into the window. Like, of course you flew into the window when my husband is out of town and I can't deal with the dead thing. But so he's gone. And so it was just, I had to call in my parents for reinforcements. And so I was all over the place. But I was at the banquet.
I really need to talk to Seth about his husbandry.
No, right?
I think husbandry is something else.
I just waited till this episode to bring it all up.
Right, yeah. Seth, this is an intervention.
Yeah.
Here comes the sign.
Yeah, so no, I was not there when it got called.
So, I mean, it was a beautiful day all day.
Yeah.
And then out of absolutely nowhere, these like rolling clouds start coming in where it's like, and then like, it was one of those like beautiful Texas lightning storms. Like the entire
where you wish you were on a porch instead of like
no, like we were at the perfect place for it.
Really?
Because at the track, like there's no walls. Like everything's wide open.
Super open.
And we can see everything.
Yeah.
And so we're watching it come in. The lightning's gorgeous. And then all of a sudden they come over the intercom and they're like, we know that like if lightning strikes close, like the rule for any outdoor sporting events, we have to pause for 30 minutes until 30 minutes after the last lightning strike.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, we're going to pause. So we all go pause for like 7 minutes. And then they're like, all right, there's a tornado warning now. Everyone leave.
Oh my gosh.
And like,
go get in your car.
We're all standing there. The lightning's all over us. Like we didn't see a funnel, but like in Hearn, the city right north, like there was a funnel that didn't touch the ground, but it was coming. Right? And we're just like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah.
I'm like still catching up from all of yesterday's
news. Like just like we were like, hey, there's
news.
a murder on the loose right next to you, and there was 1,000 people at this meeting, nobody knew. And 990 of them were middle school students. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But they call the meet, and then we're like, we're just like, oh man, that kind of sucks for our athletes, right? Like there were multiple kids, including one of my seniors, who he doesn't run until the second half of the running events. They canceled the meet right before his first running event. We were there from 1:30, and then the meet got called at 8:30. He was there for 7 hours and didn't do anything. So it was tough, and then we're all just like, the kids all leave. We talk to them. They go get in their cars. They leave. Me and one of the other coaches were like, it's been a long, weird day. Like one of we have a Mexican restaurant right next to like where all the track stuff happens. We're like, let's go get a margarita and eat dinner. So we're like, it's got to be over, right?
Surely.
It's got to be over. We're sitting in this restaurant. He's having margarita. I'm having a nice Dos Equis, and we're having a good old time eating some dinner. And then all of a sudden, I hear what I think is like, I was like, why is the ice maker going crazy?
Oh, uh-huh.
And
that's what it sounded like where you were.
Yeah. It was 79 degrees outside, and golf-sized hail started falling onto the restaurant.
At Lake Bryan, it was baseball size.
So
I'm sitting in this old ice house it's literally an ice house from, I'm going to say the date wrong, but like from the 1800s. And so I don't know that it has a tin roof, but it has a roof that produces a lot of noise when golf ball size hail comes down on it. It sounded like a literal war. And the same day that you've had an active shooter in your town, because you hear that first hail and everyone just is looking around. There's 2 police officers there for the banquet. And so we're looking at them like, I'm going to get worried if you're worried. You don't seem worried. Right, and then another one pop. And so then it all just comes. I mean, this was Old Testament hail. It was biblical proportions hail. It was absolutely insane. It sounded like a war. Like a scene from a movie, a war scene. It was
exactly
insane.
It sounded like what are they called? Like ground to air missiles.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it was just going. Yeah, and like it went on for 15 minutes, and our cars are getting pelted. Like we're just sitting there, like you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Like how is this happening on this day? And you know what we do? Like at this point, we're just like, we just keep sipping our beer and our margarita.
What are you gonna do?
I mean, we were like, we got it. Like everybody in the restaurant got up and went to the windows, which is the opposite of what you're supposed to do in a tornado warning. Right. But we're like, it's hailing. So everybody was like, the typical Texas thing. Whenever it does this, we were like, what the hail?
Oh, hail no.
Because it sounds like our accent, and also the things falling from the sky. So we had quite the day. Me and everyone I know is fine. It happened. Everything's other than the hail, everything happened far away from us. So we're all good.
We're all okay, but just in mourning for our little town that has been greatly affected. here, and I need to catch up and go read about, you hear that saying, look for the helpers when there's tragedy.
Never heard that saying.
Really?
No.
Oh, so when something horrible happens, and when it's easy to be just really I don't know, pessimistic or discouraged or depressed about what's going on, whatever it is, there's this saying that's like, look for the helpers, and it just restores your hope in humanity. And apparently there are really heroic stories around the people who have helped in that situation. And of course, the medical professionals and all of the first responders. So just really grateful for how we come together as a town to take care of each other, but really sad for what's happened.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you ready to lighten the mood?
Sure.
I had something happen in my life that I have not told you yet because I wanted to get your live reaction.
I love it when you do this. I'm ready.
So last week, I'm 31 years old. My wife is older than me. We'll just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
We finally decided it was time to get off of our parents' phone plans.
Oh, wow.
As adults that have been married for almost 9 years with three kids, one who's almost old enough for a phone of his own, we finally decided.
His friends have one, I guarantee you.
We finally decided it was time for us to get our own phone plan.
Wow.
So we go to AT&T, that's who we've used our entire lives. Like that's what my family used and her family used.
Mm-hmm.
So like whenever we lit the Unity candle at our wedding, it was just an AT&T candle. Like we have been an AT&T family our entire lives.
That's really funny.
Thank you. I just made it up right now. I didn't pre-plan that. You know what I didn't prepay for either? My phone. I wanted to get the entire thing. But do you know how much phone plans cost, or is that something your doctor husband does?
Maybe.
So good. He gets 1 point for being a good
I know
husband
he's really
so
mad
far.
about it. He's really mad about what he pays. I do know that.
Yeah, like I think everybody is. So we go to get this plan, and we're used to having, my wife's used to having like unlimited data, which is helpful for the kids because we're just like, shut up and go watch YouTube on mommy's phone,
right.
Especially like in the car and all these things. So and I'm just tired of dealing with like, oh, you went over your data. I'm like, I'm a grown person. I should have the internet.
That's still a thing.
Right?
I mean, come on.
So we got like this unlimited plan, and as we're signing up, the guy was so nice to us. I wish I remember his name, but I can't. Mm-hmm. He was great. He's from Houston, has a family and kids as well.
Young?
No, he was probably
okay.
He was in his 40s,
well,
so super old.
Yeah,
super old in his 40s. But just really joyful, which like I think in a job like that where it's so repetitive, like you're having the same conversation over and over again, it would be easy to not be joyful. And he was
and with people
joyful.
that you know significantly more than, like I can't imagine having to deal with me coming in there. They'd be
well,
like, oh,
that
let's
wasn't a
start
problem
from the
with me.
beginning. Well, sure. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Here's how you call 911. What's the number? Okay.
That was rude. That was uncalled for.
But also true. So, what is it? What's the difference between like libel and slander? Like one is true, but you shouldn't have said it, and one's fake. I think that's libel, where it's true, but I probably shouldn't have said it out loud because your little feelings got hurt, and we have to go to court with people's feelings.
They are hurt. Very, very like fragile little things. My feelings.
Well, here comes the point where you can laugh. You can laugh at or with me. Okay. He's saying, he's going through all these things. Like he's being really helpful. He's like, do you have this so you can have a discount? Like, are you military? I'm like, no. Have you ever been in the military? No. Has anybody in your family served your country? No. So he's like, well, do you own your own business? And I'm like, yes. How many employees? Me. So he's like, well, that doesn't quite count. But then he goes, he said, now hear me out. Are you a member of AARP? And I'm like, no. Like I'm 31 years old.
Right.
And he's like, most people don't know this, but like you could sign up for AARP. Like there isn't an age limit.
Wow.
I think you have to be like 18.
Wow.
So I am a member now, so I could get a discount on my phone plan that I'm finally paying for as a grown adult.
Oh my gosh.
I have become a member of AARP before you.
No more old jokes. You cannot give me any more old jokes. I have got this in my pocket forever.
Well, here's the thing. I think it opens me up for more old jokes because now I'm part of the group. Like making fun of a group when you're outside of the group is one thing. Making fun of the people in your group is a lot easier.
That has never stopped you. That has never kept you from offending me when it comes to being your elder.
You have no idea how much I've held back.
And now here it comes.
Here it comes. So I had to look it up. Do you know what AARP stands for?
I don't know.
I looked it up before we started today. The American
Antique.
Antique. Okay, keep guessing. Let's see if you can keep
American Antiqued Retired People.
Really close. American Association of Retired Persons.
Well, how about that?
I like antique a
Antique's
lot.
way better.
I like antique a lot.
They need to incorporate that. You're welcome.
American
AARP.
Association of Retired Persons. So I'd like to announce my retirement here today at 31.
Don't go, Taylor. Don't
with
go.
All the money I've made by doing youth ministry for 10 years and running a Catholic nonprofit
right,
for the last
of course.
year.
Yeah.
So
lucky you.
We're both old now.
Yay.
I'm part of the club.
Good.
We're gonna
I gotta work on my like hip jokes, and I don't know.
You are not hip, but you might have to get one replaced soon. So
well done.
Here we go. So we're gonna
we
take
look
a
mad.
break.
Look at us. We look mad.
Do we look mad?
Yeah. Look.
I've tried to close the segment 3 times.
Oh, okay. I'll quit. I'll quit talking.
So now I'm stuttering because I'm like, how many different ways can I close one segment? I'm trying not to repeat myself.
You do the long sigh, which in Texan is like, okay then.
What the hell? We're gonna be right back with a brand new game that we're going to play.
Woo!
And you're not going to want to miss this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun and also might get us in trouble. We'll be right back. If you are single and Catholic and haven't signed up for Catholic Match yet, especially after the fun advertisements we've been doing here on the show, what is wrong with you? Catholic Match is amazing, and these ads might be the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. Well, until today. Now I'm just yelling at you. But go to catholicmatch.com/Forte, and you can find a love story with someone who won't yell at you all the time. Catholic Match is the best, biggest, and best Catholic dating site in the entire world. Dating is always easier when you're dating somebody who you agree with, who you have the primary things you have in common. Well, obviously not gender. That would be weird. But you want to have like your faith in common. It's very important to you. It should be important to them. So sign up today at catholicmatch.com/Forte. Write your Catholic love story today. I don't know why I'm so angry, but do it. Welcome back to Forte Catholic. My voice cracked literally at the beginning of the segment because of the track meet that I was at. We're telling you last week, but it was yesterday because we're recording today.
You mean from your daily conversations?
Oh, no. I yelled. I didn't even tell you that. You're really proud of your son? Uh-huh. Did he mention that I chewed him out?
Oh, no. Why?
Because your son and the other 2 6th graders
were
on the track in the
Oh.
lane of my girls running their 4x2 relay.
You get him. You get him.
Oh, like they were like, are those your kids? And I said, no, because my kids are the high school
would never
kids.
do that.
Yeah, they would never. But 6th graders, that's why I'm not responsible for them.
Yeah.
Because I can't deal with kids that do that.
Stop being clueless.
Because I'm 150 meters from them, and I yelled where everybody heard.
Good.
And they got off the track real quick.
Yeah. Good.
So I don't know why you would play in
take
lane
him up
4.
by the scruff of his little neck.
Oh, no. He's not my responsibility. I yelled at him to get what I needed and then let somebody else deal with it.
You're not interested in making him a better person.
No, not
This
for
is
3 more years. I already told you I don't care about your son until he can do things for me on the track.
Well, I'm sure he skedaddled. He's an obedient thing. I mean, battlegrounds at home. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that about him. But
you asked me
the people who yell at him away from home would,
You asked
agree
me
with
earlier
that.
if you thought you had a stroke because something about your face. And I think you've had a stroke recently because of the sentences you've put together today.
Like, no, you look fine, but you sound ridiculous.
Like, I'm trying to look at the camera, and then you start talking, and I just start looking at you like, what are you saying?
What did I just say just then?
I have no idea.
Or maybe you're the one that's had the stroke.
Yeah, I am.
Maybe we should not be joking about
Maybe
strokes.
we should go get wine after this.
Now we're talking.
Okay, so we have a brand new game that I came up with like very recently.
You came up with this game?
I did. Oh, okay. So the premise is a game. Once you hear it, you will know what game I absolutely ripped this off from.
Okay.
I just can't tell you.
But not to be discussed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The name is... We can't talk about the name of the game that I stole this from.
But people will know.
But I took it and made it Catholic, just like all of our great celebrations.
Okay.
Easter, Christmas, all of these things.
Yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
The Vatican, a death place for everyone, and now it's the greatest church in the world. Catholics are good at taking things that are bad and making them not good, but better.
Beauty from ashes, Taylor. Beauty from ashes.
So we are going to play a game introducing today what I think will be a permanent game on the show. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
You're the guinea pig.
I'm the guinea pig?
Make a guinea pig
This
noise.
is not... Oh, they squeak.
Very good.
That was good, right?
I
think that was pretty convincing, if I do say so myself.
Like what you guys don't know that are only listening to the podcast is she actually had a guinea pig in her pocket and put it up to the microphone.
Gross.
I was like, where did that come from? Is the guinea pig having a stroke
I refuse to have any rodents in the house. My kids think hamsters are extinct. Not happening.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
You know how dumb they're going to feel whenever
Listen, it's worth it. If I can get through 20 years of parenting without a rodent in the house on purpose...
Remember
That's
how
a
we talked
win.
about today was me helping the Sullivans be better family?
Don't. You're not going to convince me to get a rodent.
I'm going to buy a rodent.
No, you're not.
Knock at your door and throw it in the house and run away.
And then when it dies, as it inevitably does, I feel like they try to die. They try to die, and I'm going to come leave it in some recessive corner or crack in your house, and then, gross.
All right, let's play a game.
Moving on.
This game is called Imitate, Intercess, or Ignore.
Ooh.
So we're going to...
Hold on. Imitate, intercess, or ignore. I feel like I need notes, Taylor. Okay. This is really clever, though. I'm proud of you. This is a really good idea.
Every now and then I have an idea. Let's be real. I think everything that I think is good. Otherwise, I wouldn't think it.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
But every now and then I have something that I think is good that I also think other people think
right,
is good,
I see. So you enjoy all of your own thoughts,
100%.
and then you recognize the difference that might not be for everyone.
Exactly.
Look at you.
So changing the name. We definitely had to change the name.
For
so
sure.
Imitate, intercess, or ignore.
Imitate,
today
intercess,
we're going
ignore.
to do
Imitate,
the Saints version. And I think the Saints will be our primary thing for this and for the game in the future. But there are some other things that we could branch into. But today, we're just doing Saints. So we're going to give each other a list of 3 Saints.
I'm not going to be good at this game. I'm warning you ahead of time. This is not my Catholic strong suit. But okay,
I need to teach you something. I got taught something when I was doing when I was getting vocal lessons in college.
All right.
You never tell an audience that you're sick or not feeling good or don't have confidence, because then they believe you, and then they'll hear all of your answers and be like, Allison's stupid. But if you come in and you're like, this is going to be fun, then it'll be fun for them.
Roll back the tape, Taylor.
It's called
I got a little redo. All right, fine. Here we go.
You're going to be great. So we're going to give each other 3 saints. I have a group of 3 saints. You have a group of 3 saints. And we're going to go back and forth. And the other person has to say, which of these saints would you imitate?
Mm-hmm.
Which would you ask for their intercession, like to pray for you?
Mm-hmm.
And which of these Catholic saints who gave their life for Jesus, which one would you ignore?
Okay. I've got 3. Can I give you 3 first?
Go for it.
I thought if there... Okay, so what about... Could we just do the arc... what if Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel?
I'm going with Donatello.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Wait. I didn't think you would know the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but then I remembered you're old, and I'm a member of AARP. But you're also wearing green. You kind of look like...
Oh, looky there.
You know how they did with Ghostbusters, where they're like, all the Ghostbusters are women now?
Uh-huh.
Well, you could be the all-female Ghostbusters.
You're onto something again. That's a great idea that other people will love. Imitate, intercess, or ignore. I
just had this whole thing about gender, but we're not going to get into it.
Another time.
Yeah, another time. I was just like, why do they just go all women? Why couldn't it just be equal for once?
Oh, Yeah.
Okay, we'll get into that some other time.
Yeah, well, write it down in a show note.
Okay, so Raphael.
Okay.
Which 3 did you pick? Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. So I'm going to go intercess Michael. Because St. Michael, the St. Michael prayer, I say it every night before I go to sleep. There's been a lot of spiritual warfare in my life, especially in the past. I grew up in a parish called St. Michael's, so that prayer has always been important to me. So I love it. I'm gonna stick with it would be hard to do it. And I can't imitate him because he has a flaming sword. I want to be a Jedi, but it doesn't mean I can be.
Yeah.
I think Gabriel, it'd be hard to ignore him, but I kind of feel like he did his job. Like he was created for one thing, to go tell Mary that she was having a baby. And that's really cool, but what does that have to do with me?
I feel like saying this, just laying down this sentence like it's fact. He was created for one thing. I mean,
what else has he done that's notable?
Didn't he like blow a horn?
I mean, all angels blow a horn. I want you to blow a horn now. Make that sound effect.
Oh, that was good.
Did that gerbil just blow that horn? That's so impressive. Why do you want to kill this music playing gerbil?
We are so ridiculous. Okay, so what?
So then
you don't want to imitate him. I'm gathering.
I probably should say imitate for Gabriel because he's like bringing good news.
Oh,
to
I
people,
like that.
Right?
Yeah, that's good.
But I'm gonna say Raphael because there's this story in Tobit of Raphael where someone goes blind for reasons, and in order to not be blind anymore, Raphael's like, "Hey, go have a bird poop in your eye, and that'll cleanse it."
Wow.
I want to imitate that guy. That's awesome. I want God.
That's the
to
miracle
work
I
through
want to
me,
see.
But not in like, behold, you will have a child and it will be named Jesus.
We're
going
gonna
to
get there unconventionally.
I'm gonna be like,
darn
hey,
it.
you want healing in your life? You put some poop in your eye.
Watch this.
So that's mine. That's my first intercess, imitate, and ignore.
Okay, I like it.
All right. So your first one, we're gonna do Pope edition.
Okay.
The first Pope, Pietro, Peter, the most recent Pope saint, and who is Pope most of your life because you've been around a while, John Paul II, and Pope John the 23rd.
What?
You might not know John the 23rd, but he called Vatican II. So the thing, like the church that we have both lived in for our whole lives. I think you went to Latin Mass like a few times when you were like, in the early 40s. But he called Vatican II. So like a big influential figure in like for our lifetime.
Okay. Peter is so near and dear to me. I have this Peter heart where it's like I'm just constantly saying things and then kind of wanting them back. I want intercession from Peter. I want intercession from Peter.
So you already act like him, but you want to be better.
Yeah, I'm like, I need your help for okay, so that's that. Peter breaks my heart. I love Peter. Okay, and so then oh no, I take it back. Oh, okay. No. Okay, so and then JP2, let's imitate. Cuz man, I could use some of that discipline. Okay, and then the other guy, what's left?
John the 23rd.
I can ignore you. I don't like the ignore function.
Why do you hate Mass in English?
I know. I'm going to think of another I word for this game. I want to edit the game. Oh. I don't like ignore.
Well, that's what makes it fun.
I know, you're right. The extreme of
having
ignore.
to say that we're going to ignore a saint. I mean, we already do anyway. So like it's not that controversial really if you think about it.
Okay, I'm going to give you some really strong women. Okay.
Good. Taylor having to ignore a strong woman. What's new?
What's new? Okay, Saint Joan of Arc.
Okay.
Mary Magdalene. And Saint Kateri.
Saint Kateri. Okay. I can't imitate Mary Magdalene because I don't have hair to wipe Jesus' feet.
Was that a different Mary?
No, that was Mary Magdalene.
Was Bethany. Mary Bethany. Okay, go ahead.
Who's Bethany? There was no Bethany in the
Bethany.
scriptures.
Mary Bethany. Okay, anyways, go ahead.
Mary of Magdalene and Peter and Bethany. Okay, so Mary Magdalene, Joan of Arc, and Kateri.
I know my answer.
Well, it's not your turn.
I know. I have opinions.
Mary Magdalene. I'm going to ask for Mary Magdalene's intercession.
Okay.
That is my daughter is named Magdalene Marie, so like the flip of Mary Magdalene. We're very close to Mary Magdalene. My wife, that was her confirmation saint, which is why we named our kids that. Like Christopher was mine, that's our first. Magdalene Marie, Mary Magdalene was my wife's. She, there's a lot of controversy about whether she was the woman doing bad things when she met Jesus. Some say yes, some say no. But either way, she had some kind of conversion when she met Jesus and then like stayed with Jesus. Like when the dudes were terrified, like she was there at the crucifixion. She's one of the first apostles. Like, I mean, seriously, she's one of the first like people closest to Jesus. I'm going to ask her for her intercession. I would like to imitate Joan of Arc.
Mhm.
She has so much courage. I want to imitate her up to the point of being burned alive.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm kind of good. I would definitely.
It's not your turn.
I know.
I don't want to burn alive. I don't want to burn alive. So I want to imitate her. Like, I want to be a war hero and like save my people, but not die for it.
Mhm.
So there's kind of a little caveat there. And I'll ignore Kateri. And I know that's one of my kids' best friends' name is Kateri, and I usually ignore her when she's here. So I feel like that's kind of easy.
Okay. Ours are the same. I would just flip, imitate, and intercess.
So they're not the same at all. We are 66% different, and you're like, we're the same.
We are 33%. Oh, shush. I don't do math in public. We've talked about this.
I only do math in private in my private life.
Okay, my turn.
Okay. John, the gospel writer. The dude that like laid on Jesus. I probably should rephrase that, but I won't. Francis of Assisi, St. Francis of Assisi, and St. Paul.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna ignore Paul.
What? the guy who wrote 66% of the New Testament?
I'm sorry, he annoys me. He doesn't know how to use a comma. It's just there's all kinds of things.
They didn't use commas back then. No one used commas. Like that's like saying like Paul's a dummy because he doesn't know how to use a cell phone. You don't either. You live here.
He writes in run-ons. I can't. It's a lot. Paul's a lot for me. I just feel like he's just.
This game is canceled.
Listen. Okay, so that's that. So there's Paul, and then who are we dealing with? John and Francis.
I hate the guy that's the reason we know about Christianity. Thanks.
I'm gonna ask for Francis's intercession.
And I love animals, but I hate Christianity.
Oh, I love him so much. And then I want to imitate John. I feel like the one who Jesus loved, there was a stillness about him that really allowed him to be really receptive. And I feel like I'm kind of on the go so much.
Maybe you could be more receptive to Paul if you're acting like John.
No, I'm good.
Oh, that makes me angry. It
really?
Genuinely makes me angry.
Wow. That is interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hold on. Ready? I'm going to give you the Teresas. Okay? So, Teresa of Calcutta, Therese of Lisieux, and Therese of Avila.
That's not how you say that, but I understand what you're saying. You asked me how to say it before we started, and I told
Teresa of Avila?
Teresa of
Avila.
You're like, Therese of Avila.
These are the things that like you've seen written a million times, and yeah, okay.
Teresa of Avila, I have said multiple times
out loud,
online, on the show. Ignore.
Holy one.
She drives me crazy. They're like, she's a doctor of the church, and she wrote these great theological treatises.
Yeah.
They're all boring and terrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I'm going.
When you said we're getting in trouble for this.
Yeah. No,
me about Paul and you about.
Yeah, I'm so mad at you about this. Therese of Lisieux. You know what? I'm going to ignore her, too.
You can't do that.
Okay.
If you're not going to let me edit ignore
I will ask her to pray for me. It just makes me so mad that she's the patron saint of missionaries, and her entire life she was locked in a room.
Oh, okay.
So I guess if her whole thing is praying for people that are on mission, and not doing anything herself, she can pray for me.
Okay.
And then
I feel like this is valid.
Teresa of Calcutta, Mother Teresa, I will imitate her, just like Joan of Arc, up to the point of touching people's boils. I'll love people, I'll help them out, but I'm not doing the nasty stuff. So I think when we're getting to the imitate section, it's like Taylor's
got his limits.
Taylor's got his limits. He can only be 66% of a good Christian. The other 33% is dying on fire pyres and touching people's boils.
This feels really obnoxious.
Well, here's the thing. You're all mad at me.
A little bit.
But I'm going to explain to you why you can't be mad at me.
Okay, what?
How many of you in the last 14 months, when you heard that your friend had COVID, said, I'm going to go over there and help that person? You went, nope, I'm social distancing by 60 miles.
Listen, I definitely dropped stuff off at the doorway. I mean, I feel like that counts.
You are no Mother Teresa. So everybody's mad at me. I'm just the only one being honest about it.
Okay, do you want 3 more?
Yes.
Okay.
This will be the last one for each of us. I have one more for you.
Well, then.
And it'll be the most difficult one we do all day.
Oh, really?
I
Okay,
think so.
hit me.
No.
Is it your turn? Is it? No, you just went.
I did?
Yeah, with Teresa's.
Okay, here we go. I think this will be the hardest one the whole time.
Ugh.
The Holy Family. Mary,
Oh,
Joseph,
no, you
and
didn't.
Jesus.
Whoa.
I know, like, Jesus isn't technically a saint, but get over it.
I can't ignore anyone. I
Saint
mean, the
Jesus.
obvious choice is to ignore Joseph. I mean,
In the year of Saint Joseph, you're just
I'm
gonna
gonna just
ignore-
do it. I'm just gonna do it. I have to. You have. Oh man, that is so rude. I feel bad. I do. I feel regret right now.
If we're being honest, that's the one that made me think this game was going to be a hit. Like, that was the first one I thought of. Was
Yeah.
Like, who's the three? Oh,
Okay.
the
Well, obviously, and then Mary intercedes. That's what she does, and then you obviously imitate Jesus. It's easy.
but up to a point. I mean, let's be real though. If you're getting up to 66% of imitating Jesus, you're doing great.
I feel like that. We should have ended on that. You're right. Okay, I have one more for you. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah.
Okay. We already talked about St. John, and we already talked about Paul, and we already talked about Francis. Oh,
That's your three?
that was yes.
All right, we're ending on the Holy
And
Family.
we're done.
We hope that you enjoyed this. We sure did. Let us know what you think. Do you also hate the father of Christian writing, Paul? How do you think about the Teresas? Let us know on social media.
Wrote half of the New Testament.
Only tag Allison M. Sully, because I don't want to hear.
Don't be mad at me.
We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. One of our longtime partners for the show is back for the spring season. Sacrilegious for all of your feet needs. Sacrilegious has some of the coolest socks, all Catholic stuff, saints, and like Jesus things. They're the best. I've got some St. Michael ones that I wear whenever I want to stomp on Satan. Those are a lot of fun. You can find all of these and so much more at fortecatholic.com/socks. And no, we're not spelled weird like the red socks or the white socks. Just socks like normal human beings spell socks. fortecatholic.com/socks. Get you 15% off your first order from Sacrilegious. Everybody's starting to get out of the house a little bit more, and you want to look your best. Why not bring saints with you? Because something about scripture, peace, and gospel where your feet go. So buy some Catholic socks at fortecatholic.com/socks. Welcome back to Forte Catholic. I'm Taylor Schroll. That's still Allison Sullivan. And that is every co-host middle name now. That's what we're going with.
It's such a weird choice.
I love the middle name Lene. I think it's gorgeous.
Okay.
That's the only reason that happens.
I'll answer to it.
Okay, Lene. You have an AARP story.
I do. Sadly, I do. Okay, so I was the kind of athlete as a kid that was like strong and fast, but that was really kind of it. Like you
stood on the track in the middle of other people's races.
He comes by it naturally. But like you put a ball in my hands and it was kind of over. But like they were like, throw yourself backwards. And I'm like, I'll try that. So I was a good little gymnast for a while. Well, to this day, I can impress my kids on a trampoline. I have to go to the bathroom a lot when I'm on a trampoline, but I can impress all 5 kids on a trampoline. Like, go, Mom. I have as much fun at the trampoline park as my kids do. So
I've seen videos of you at the trampoline park.
Yeah.
I was thinking of like the trampoline in your backyard, but like the trampoline park, I've seen you do multiple flips, and I was like,
yeah.
Wow, you look nice.
Yeah.
You did it.
Like, who knew?
I was very surprised.
Yeah, it is. It's a surprise, right? Okay, so that's fun for our family and fine. Well, I thought, because I feel like, I feel like just this prowess that I thought, well, I thought I was more capable than I was. So I box, you know.
I think my compliment went as far as I was going to go. I would have never gotten close to the word prowess.
Okay, well, maybe if you could have been there at the boxing gym and kept me from this, that would have been really nice. So the boxing ring has a little give to it. It's got some spring. So I was like, same. Trampoline, springy boxing gym.
You did have a stroke.
I've got this. So I go to do a back handspring in the boxing ring.
And that's like a backflip, but using your hands.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm telling you that, like, as a gymnast, you kind of know what goes wrong. It's like, oh, How
many times in your life have you started a sentence with, as a gymnast?
More than you would think, Taylor. Prowess, I tell you. So
Wishful thinking.
I go normally as a gymnast, you kind of know what went wrong. It's like, oh, I missed this, or like I undercut, or I landed on my knees. I am here to tell you, I have zero idea of what my body did. I do not know what happened. But the next thing I know, I am in a pile on the floor, and I'm laughing because I'm embarrassed. You know, like there's people around, and we're all kind of laughing. They're like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine." So I pop up, and I'm laughing, and I'm like, "Oh, I think my hand." And so I brace it because I have seen 2 pinky bones.
Oh gosh.
2. Okay, so
Like both pinkies?
no,
Or
it's
2
like
bones
the
on one
joint. It's like this joint
Oh.
popped
Oh, I hate that.
so much that it was outside of the skin. So I know, I'm sorry if you're squeamish. There was a warning. I should have given a trigger warning.
Only you had someone in your life constantly telling you you're old.
Yes,
You could have
and
prevented
they're like, you cannot do that. Okay, so my instinct was to
that
like
just hurts.
hold it really tight. And so my coach that was there was like, let me see. And I'm like, absolutely not. Like, I'm not letting this go. And so I said, I'm, and everyone's still kind of laughing. And I'm like, no, I'm hurt really bad. Like, I'm pretty sure that I saw my bones. And so he was like, well, if it was open, you know, if it was a compound, like there would be blood. And so we looked down, we're like, yeah, there it is. Okay, let's go, like start driving. And so all said and done, they put me back together. I had somewhere to be at 2. So I was like, when I get to the ER, I'm like, I might be being melodramatic. I can't be certain.
How many times in your life have you started a sentence by saying, I might be being melodramatic, and then said something extremely melodramatic?
Right. Like, forgive me if I'm being a drama queen, but I think I saw my bones.
I can't stand when people command me to forgive them. I hate it so much.
Really?
Apologize. Don't say forgive me.
Oh, good point. This is a great
it
segment.
makes me so angry.
Oh, I love this. Okay, hold on. I want to dive into that too. So anyway, so I tell her, I said, I am sorry if I'm being melodramatic, but I think I saw my bones. Now, if I didn't see my bones, and this is like no big deal, you know, then, you know, I don't listen, here's what I want you to do. I want you to unwrap this, and then I want you to not say a word. Like, just don't talk. I don't want any briefings. I don't want to know what's going on. Just put me back together. And so when she like took my hand off, she goes, okay. And so anyways, all is well. I can't move it. Like this is my
legitimately can't move your pinky?
That's my range of motion right now.
How?
So I'm in all kinds of therapy.
Her pinky isn't moving.
Yeah, I'm in all kinds of therapy to get it back to good. I don't know, a month maybe.
And you still can't move your finger?
No. Yeah.
Did you get an AARP discount at the hospital?
So Seth's a physician, and we're all fine all the time, right? It's like we're legitimately sick, and he's like, you're fine. So with this, he was like, Allison, this is significant. This is a significant injury. He kept using the word significant. So when I have his attention, I feel really validated in my melodrama. So.
You know what word he wasn't using? Prowess.
Yeah, so that happened. And then I have a good story for a long time and a really immobile pinky.
All stories have a good moral lesson.
Yeah.
What did you learn through this experience?
Well, that I should just keep it to the trampoline.
That's what you learned?
Yeah.
That's it.
What'd you learn?
You probably shouldn't be doing any of that.
Yeah, I do. I don't need to be jumping backwards. Yeah.
Here's my next question.
Mm-hmm.
We had a conversation a year and a half ago on the show. So
Mm-hmm.
longtime listeners will remember this conversation.
Okay.
After everything that you happened, when you said you tried to do something physical,
Mm-hmm.
and then it ended with you in a heap and you had no idea what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You said you could beat me in a boxing match a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I did.
I think that would have the similar outcome where
Yeah.
you're in a pile on the ground.
I do kind of want to take that back. I do want to take that back. Because I will say that I have learned more about your athleticism. And I don't even feel like we had that conversation all that long ago. But I don't think I knew that you're a runner, you're a track star. Like you are
Is that a song?
it's a song. You are a very physically competent individual, and I don't think I realized that. And you have like I modified this that I do think I would surprise you.
I think the idea that you are better than I think you are is true.
Okay, good.
Like, I have come around on that fact, but I have also stayed on the fact that if I hit you one time, you're going good night.
Yeah, if you got me good. Yeah, no,
you told me off the air after that conversation, you were like, well, I'd only beat you if you weren't hitting as hard as you can. I'm like, that's not a boxing match.
Well, I think I could get out of the way.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
There's
So,
no way.
yeah.
Oh,
Yet,
I mean,
yet to be determined. What I really want to see is Father Anthony kicking you in the kneecap, because that was a delightful episode.
Yeah. Apparently, me and all my co-hosts just want to fight.
Yeah.
But instead, we get it out through our words every week.
But you know what? I think that just kind of proves, like, you and I thinking that we're prowesses is just, you're kind of your own hero, you know? Like, you're just kind of this little protagonist walking around.
Thank you for stealing my content. That was my idea for this.
I was
segment.
helping you out.
Oh, I was.
This was a
waiting on you to be
segue.
done with
There you go, and now here it is.
So
take it away.
Allison apparently last week listened to a podcast that was all about being the protagonist in your own story, and she took my story. Now
no,
you're
I led you in.
No, my story. And you're just not.
Back up, lady.
Okay, so it was this idea, and like I've always had pride, sometimes healthy, 66% of the time unhealthy, right? But everyone, even when I'm not being
33% of it's enjoyable.
Yeah. 33% of me is enjoyable. I'll let you decide what I'm talking about. So, like, even when I'm not being like I think sinfully prideful, we are always the protagonist in our own story. We are never, like, if you're watching a TV show, even if there's multiple protagonists, you're like kind of with them at one point and then with somebody else another point, and either there's two protagonists, you're kind of seeing what they're doing, and that's a lot of time how storytelling goes. And then the protagonists meet, and then it's all, you know, they get married or whatever. Like that, like we don't have that capability. There's like never a time in our life where we are not the protagonist of our own story, like the main character, and usually the good guy. Now, every now and then we're like, okay, I messed up or I screwed up, but even then, we're still the central figure.
For sure.
Right? And like, even when we're doing things like for other people, now there's a fine line between this. I think there's a line between like, I'm doing something for someone else and I'm doing it like not to be seen or anything. I'm doing it like in a holy way. Right? Yeah. Even then, like, you're still you. Like, you're still the primary character in the story. Right.
Yeah. The deepest rut of addiction is self-addiction, and I think that's the constant struggle: is making God the main character in our lives, and our lives working around that instead of us the main character, and like, you know, kind of squeezing God in where he fits in, where it's comfortable.
God's like
whatever.
A supporting actor in my life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the challenge right there.
Who's the antagonist in your life, Seth?
No,
you think it's you?
You're totally my own self. That's good.
What this is I think it's the movie Face Off, where they like switch faces and switch bodies or whatever, and you're fighting against yourself.
Yeah,
that's our real life.
Are you your own worst enemy? Heck no.
I think.
You?
I think we are all. I've had some antagonists lately, but usually it's also me. I'm also the
who? We need to talk.
Well, we should go have wine after this because neither of us had a stroke.
Let's celebrate our good health.
You know what's funny?
And our prowess.
Right when you said celebrate, I heard celebrate, come on and celebrate, which is a Celebrex commercial, which is a pill for old people.
Look at that.
That's too funny. But I've just been thinking about it. I heard it on a podcast and it's been stuck in my head for a week, where it's just like, because we are all the protagonists in our own stories, no one cares about what you do.
Yeah, everybody's doing their own thing.
Like, obviously, people care about like you care about like our interactions, but you rarely think of me in your life, and like we're close. Like I'll pop into your head every now and then, but there will be like entire days where you don't think about me, and it's the same for you, right? Like, even with your close friend, I'm offending you. I don't think about you every day. Sorry, Allison, you know, but it's like...
No, I'm trying to think if that's true. I don't know if that's true. I feel like you will sometimes like say this like matter-of-fact thing and then boom, that's truth. And I'm like, I don't know.
It is. Oh, it's 100% true for me. I don't think about.
I know, but I'm saying that might be true for you. I don't know that that's true for me.
I think it's true for everybody.
I might think about you every day, Taylor. I might.
No, there's no way.
I might.
I just looked into your eyes. And
I
you're
think
I'm
I
lying
might.
to you right now.
You don't know.
But like, I mean, I was thinking about it. Like, even when it comes to like stuff like for the show, like promoting the show, like, nobody cares. Like, I'll put a picture of like my family and it's like connection stuff.
Yeah.
And it'll get like hundreds of likes.
For sure.
Then I post a show and people are like, I don't care.
No, that's true.
Everybody is the protagonist in their own story. So everybody starts their own podcast so they can be the protagonist in their own podcast. And like, that's an example, but it's just like, if we're going to be holy and grow in holiness, we probably should be thinking of each other. Like, I should be praying for those close to me every day. So I should be thinking about you every day in prayer, but I don't. And I should be better about that.
Okay, well, here's me holding you to it.
I should pray more. You need to stop doing anything physical because neither of us have prowess. You in the physical area, me in the spiritual area. That's our show for today. That's Allison Sullivan. I'm Taylor Schroll. I'll be back next week. Say it! Thank you guys so much for listening. If you have watched or listened to the show this far and you haven't subscribed yet, then I don't know what's wrong with you. If you just hate me that much, then cool. I guess you stayed this long. I'm glad that you're here, whether you're glad you're here or not. Hit the subscribe button. That's the first thing. If you're listening on podcast, go ahead and give it a review. If you're listening on YouTube, comment your favorite part of the show. Do me a big favor. Share this on social media with somebody. We're really trying to grow the show here in 2021, and we can't do that without your help. So only you can prevent forest fires, and only you can share Forte Catholic. That always put so much pressure on me as a kid. Only I can prevent forest fires, so all forest fires that actually happen are now my fault. Thanks, weird bear. Follow us on social media throughout the week. At Taylor Schroll, at Forte Catholic, on the social media stuff. And, yeah, we've got all kind of things going on YouTube. So even if you're listening on the podcast, youtube.com/Forte Catholic, we're releasing a new Easter song every week of the Easter season. Go check that out there. YouTube.com/Forte Catholic. Y'all have a good week. Bye.